All right, welcome to this Tuesday's Travelin Young.
Yes.
And, earlier this year, I guess it was May, when we were in Stockholm, we did an episode about how much we love the long summer days.
You love the really long summer days.
And now, we're going to do the opposite of that. We're going to talk about the very short, cold, and short winter days. Yes, on this week's Travelin' Young. I guess I can start with my favorite thing about these winter days, which is an excuse to not maintain my beard very well. I feel like this, you need my face.
But wintertime, you always grow your beard out. We used to call it the magic beard because it would get so big he could hide things.
Yeah, my buddy Foz, who was actually here earlier this year, he would store. Once he stored a stormtrooper in my big beard. He didn't store it; it just went in there and came out like it was coming out of the woods. But yeah, that's one thing I like about it is an excuse to grow my beard longer.
Yeah.
So that's a positive.
That is.
But that's about where it ends.
Because you don't like the wintertime in general. I think you're much more affected by the very short days. I happen to love the cold. I don't mind the dark. I have to, be a little bit more mindful of when the sun does go down because I sometimes misjudge time.
Right now, look how dark it is. It's noon. I'm just kidding. It's not noon. But it might as well be 5 o'clock, even though it isn't. It also messes with the lighting situation. It's all much more complicated to
very
make this
hard
look
to manage.
better.
Yes.
But we talked about, you're talking about mindful of the time.
Yeah.
In the summer, we talked about how hard it was to sleep, and we had to wear sleep masks. In the winter, it's really hard to wake up.
Yeah, it is hard to wake up. I found myself having a hard time adjusting, especially when the time changes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That hits really hard.
And it does make it even easier to nap.
Yes.
I basically 6 p.m. to 6:30 every day. I fall asleep for 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it feels late at night. I'm exhausted.
And I'm still, because the time change wasn't that long ago. So I'm still in that adjustment period. Like today I was out and I was doing yard work. And I was like, gosh, it must be getting so late because of how dark it is. It was like 4:45 or something. And I was just like, what?
Yeah, that's super tough. So that's one thing. I will say, we also talked in the last video about how the city changes, or the country, everybody goes from being outside to inside. So we're now in this inside mode, which means we're going to concerts at Vega and places inside again. And that is super fun. Kind of indoor nightlife of going inside a restaurant and going in to see music. That's now back on the table.
Yeah.
And I do like that.
I personally, and I loved this in Chicago as well, but I kind of love that feeling of being cold and walking through the streets and being all bundled up. And then you go into a fun restaurant where it's nice and warm. Everybody's having a good time. They're all eating and drinking. And, it's just so hoogany for me. Right. I actually love that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all right, but when it gets windy and it's cold, it's not so cool.
It wakes you up,
So I have a theory that I've shared with some people. I don't think I've shared it on this channel before, so I'm going to share it. I have a theory that Scandinavians invented Christmas because...
Oh, no!
This is my thing, because basically, Christmas is the point where the days start getting longer again.
Yes.
And I feel like it's just a way to get people excited and interested for 2 months when it's the darkest, not the coldest, because it's definitely cold in January and February, but the darkest. Yeah, there's Christmas markets, you're outside drinking glück and all this stuff, you're drinking Christmas beer. I feel like it's just a whole early, I feel like it's I don't know when Christmas... I don't know. Whenever I don't know obviously I don't know the historical details of Christmas. Whenever it happened, it was an early marketing ploy to make people happy and have them be excited about something.
I think it was
in the darkest, coldest days.
Well, I think it started with people celebrating the solstice.
Yeah. But I feel like that's
But they took that to the next level.
That's much more relevant up north
Yeah, but they were celebrating, this is the point where days will start getting longer.
Yeah.
So they just took that and went with it.
And then they made it 2 months long.
Yeah, and now
we already have Christmas stuff,
now
basically.
We have Santa Claus and schnapps and hot chocolate.
Christmas lunch is already in November. It's early. In America, we got Thanksgiving as a bridge. Here, there's no bridge. It just goes straight into Christmas. Months of Christmas preparation.
I will say, I love that about being in Denmark. I'm not going to lie. I love Christmas. I love Halloween, but I really, really love Christmas. And I kind of secretly like not having the buffer of Thanksgiving, because then I can just dive right into Christmas and get my holly jolly on. So
yeah, well, I guess you're Scandinavian at heart, and it goes with my theory. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer it being so dark. I've learned when I first moved here, and I talked to Danes who obviously lived here their entire life, and they were complaining about. I'm like, boy, if you're like 40 something and you've been here your whole life and you're still not used to the short winters, then I'm not even going to try to get used to it. I'm never, ever going to get used to it then, because we're newbies. This is only our, 18, 19, 20, 18?
It's our fifth Christmas
I
year.
just recently started counting one with my thumb. Not related to anything. I'm going to go back to 18, 19, 20, 21. This is our fifth winter here.
Yes.
And it's...
naps
every day.
I find it interesting too that it affects that you and I are so different in that sense, because I cannot stand summertime. I hate summertime, especially back in the US, because it would be just ungodly hot. I don't know how else to say that.
But it's not that hot here.
But I know, I do enjoy that. But there's so much sun. I hate this. I just hate the fact that the sun is out until like 10:45, 11 o'clock at night. I cannot stand it. And so I look forward to winter. I cannot wait for the time change and winter to come and it to be cold, and I can have my blankets and my hot chocolate or my tea and sit at home and watch a movie. And I look forward to the winter time, whereas I know you don't.
Well, the thing too about it's different in America, because in America, Thanksgiving, while you were complaining kind of about it, it is like holidays and days off.
Yeah,
in Denmark, for some reason, you guys front loaded all your days off in like May and early June, and there isn't any more holidays. So it's nice in America to have Thanksgiving as a break. There's basically Labor Day in September, Thanksgiving in November. So you got a couple long weekends in here. Here in Denmark, obviously you might take a week off at week 42, but otherwise, there's a straight run to Christmas. But then you get a decent amount of time. This job. In my last job, we had the week between Christmas and New Year's off as just part of... They just don't bother to be open because there's not much going on. So, I get a pretty decent Christmas holiday break. But up till then, that's another problem. Is like, I feel like after I get back week 42, I'm just like working straight. It's super busy. There's no break. The days are short. It feels like you're working through every moment of sunlight. Yeah. And that makes it a little bit tough and slightly depressing.
I guess it's not that much different because the job that I had back in the U.S. when I was working for a charity, the fall was really, really big fundraising season for us. So that's where we did the majority of our work. And it was just 100 miles an hour from basically August until December. And so...
Well, it is the season of hot cocoa.
Yes, it is.
And glue.
Glue? We've been to so many Christmas markets. Yeah. I love the Christmas markets.
We went to one today, which we didn't make a video about it. So this is where you get to learn that we went. Although I'm going to make a quick point. If you follow us on Instagram, I'm trying to get better about posting stories when we're doing stuff like that. So you may get advanced knowledge of a video that we're shooting if we're somewhere out. Exactly. Or you may see something that we're doing that's not going to be on a video, like going to the Christmas market today or going to a concert or something like that. Yeah. I'm trying to get better about being more like real time on Instagram stories. So follow us if you're curious about what we're kind of up to on the weekends and other stuff when we're just
see how we're trying to survive the winter.
Yeah,
things we're doing.
Yeah, working on surviving the winter. It's not super easy. Things we do to do that. So anyway, I feel like we had. I do like the summer, and I watched the summer video again today to prepare for this, and I was thinking it would have been nice for it to be that right now.
So nice and shiny.
And shiny and sunny.
But I feel like it's appropriate that it's very dark.
It is very dark. Yeah, it's super dark outside. It's super dark inside.
And it's cold and windy. party.
It is all of those things.
It's all those things today. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So in the comments below, tell us what you think. Tell me if you're Danish and you've eventually gotten used to the winter. At what age? How many years? At what point can I like? It could be like a prison where I'm like, 1 year, 2. Oh, finally, I've reached the year where I'm supposed to be used to this. Let me know. And if you haven't seen our summer video, I'm going to link to that below so you can watch it. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you're getting through this winter time, and I hope we see you at a concert or something
Yes.
sometime soon. I don't know. All right. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.